Hello, everyone. Greetings to all the Flying Hub members. Welcome to a fresh episode. For those who are watching or listening to us for the first time, you can listen to us on YouTube and LinkedIn on the provided link. We are here today to share with you some of the experiences and accomplishments of our members. And today, my guest is from Switzerland. From a banker to marketing to accounting and HR to an entrepreneur, from Zurich to New York, Miami to Singapore to Indonesia. With this, he really acquired a huge sense of languages and cultures. In this episode, we'll get to know him more and explore his experiences throughout his diverse journey. Please welcome with me Samuel Summerholder. Sam, welcome to Flying Hub and thank you for being here.
Yes, a very good morning to you, Captain Khalid. Thank you so much for your invitation. So nice to have me. And I really look forward to our talk.
Thank you very much and welcome. This is interesting with all what you've been through. So, how did you end up working in almost all over the world?
Well, as you briefly mentioned before, I did actually a traditional banking career, and at the time when I was about 22, 23, I was with Credit Suisse, and they were very keen to push young people if they have the background and the language skills in order to do some more studies. I did an international financial training program in New York. That was a 6-month study with professors from the New York and New Jersey universities. So we had money and banking, accounting, statistics, financial innovations. And that was pretty tough. We also had to do the brokerage diploma. Normally you take about 3-4 months in order to study that. That's multiple choice, 750 questions. And we had to do that within 3 weeks. So that was pretty tough. But without this diploma, you are not allowed to do any investment advising in the United States. And after the studies, we had a practical assignment, and I was assigned to the branch in Miami. So Miami-wise, I had a good time. I was living on Key Biscayne, and after I had the chance to learn some Spanish with a Cuban professor.
That's good.
And after this assignment, I traveled 8 weeks to Latin America, to Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. I really loved that. I visited the branch. I was in daily contact with them. So, that was fun. Then I returned back to Zurich, and apparently my twin brother was working with Credit Suisse in Singapore. So I decided to visit him. And by the time I arrived there, they mentioned to me, well, they are looking for a new investment advisor, account manager for the branch in Singapore, as well as to build up marketing activities in Indonesia. And they asked me whether I would be interested to join. I said yes. So I went basically back home to pack my stuff. And that was back in 1989. So I moved to Singapore. And then basically that was tough, because you could not just call your clients or potential clients. I was successful to basically confirm my meetings with the secretaries of these CEOs by telex. Telex was really the instrument to get through. And within 3-4 months, I managed to get about 20 million Singapore dollars. At the time, it was about equal to the Swiss franc. And I was proud. I learned some Indonesian, and basically later on, I got to know my wife. So we got married in Indonesia, 1,800 guests. So that was quite a challenge, But we are almost married now for 33 years, and we have two sons. The elder one, Michel, he's married, and the younger one is still with us. He's going to be 30 years old this year, so we're happy to have him still at home. And yes, after this assignment, then I basically, especially when the children had to go to school, we moved back to Switzerland and basically settled down. We bought a house, and yeah, we are happy.
Wow! So you had to travel to New York, back home, all the way to Singapore, Indonesia to find your wife. That's interesting.
Yes.
So from all of this journey, what would be your advice from this experience to the young entrepreneurs and all of us? What would be your best advice?
Well, I think the most important thing is that you're really willing, eager to explore the world, and also to fight for your rights. And one thing I really had to learn as well, that no one ever in other jurisdictions or countries will take advantage of you. You have to stand up for your rights and basically make the best out of it. You have to take some risk. That is normal. Otherwise, you will never achieve anything. As a person, I am an optimist. Even if the tunnel is so dark, I still see some light at the end of the tunnel. So I think it's the right attitude, you know.
That is very good. That is really very good. We all need that. You're absolutely
Yes.
right. So from all of these jobs, which one, or I'd say jobs and places, which one is the closest to your heart?
Well, basically, I didn't mention that yet because after when I was in Asia, especially in Malaysia, we also took care of a lot of royalties, royal families. We had some contacts with the Sultan of Brunei's family, and I don't know. After I moved back to Switzerland, I joined UBS at that time, and I was traveling to Southeast Asia, even Sri Lanka at the time. Was pretty much a challenge because I remember at that time was still war, and we had checkpoints from the airport to the hotel. I normally stayed in Colombo at the Hilton Hotel, and once there was a bombing on the National Bank in Sri Lanka, and I left only one day earlier, so I was really lucky. Because next to it, the building, the bank building, was the Hilton Hotel. And that was pretty scary, but I had a good time. And I must say, even when I compared all the different clients, Sri Lankans are really very friendly people. Somehow I mentioned to them that I will stay over the weekend. That was not the right thing to do because Saturday, 7 o'clock in the morning, they picked me up, from the hotel, and we went up to Kandy. I was riding elephants. Then afterwards, a herbal massage. I remember my hair was so sticky. It took me 3 days in order to get all this oil out of my hair. But anyhow, most of my contacts there, they were in the gem business, the precious stones. And the hub at that time was Bangkok. They did a lot of trading. So, but coming back to your question, actually, I joined after so many years in private banking. I joined the Swiss Stock Exchange, and especially when you build a new building for the stock exchange, the whole process takes about 15 to 20 years. By the time we finished, the building was finished. We did not need any floor trading anymore because there was all electronic trading. I think the last two bonds, I think they were still trading on floor trading. But then we had a huge new building, but we didn't know what to do. So I suggested that the CEO at the time, why don't we make in the heart of Zurich a professional conference and seminar center, And after lots of discussions, we did it. They invested because all the listed companies in Switzerland, they were our targets. They had wonderful rooms, all glass. Looks really posh, and they could have the press conferences, any kind of event. So even as far as the rooms are concerned, I was eager to get a multifunctional room, even if there's a gala dinner for 70 CEOs. Also, the whole catering infrastructure, that all was in place, and we didn't do much marketing. We threw out mouth-to-mouth propaganda. We got new clients, and I was really happy because I think that's really my strength. I want to be a perfect host. Even before the event started, I went through all the rooms. I checked whether everything was perfect, looked perfect before I allowed the guests to come in. And secondly, I love cooking. So I think that would be still a dream to run a small beach restaurant, only 5 to 10 tables, but really perfect service, good food, fresh food. Yeah, that is actually my. We still need to have dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that you just added two more stations that I didn't know about: Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and those are two other places. Uh, you did that while you were in Singapore. Uh, you work in Malaysia and Sri Lanka while you were in Singapore.
Well, actually, when I was in Singapore, because we were three of us in a team. We had the boss and another account manager or country manager for Malaysia. And when he was off duty or on holiday, then we always had to take over. That's why we took and we got to learn somehow the old generation, like say all the sultans. They respected somehow the money much more than the younger generation. At the time when the older kings were in power and were in contact, there were still some new money flying in, but somehow with the new generation, that was different. They chatted around with their polo horses in Southeast Asia, had fun, enjoyed life. That's it. A different approach. There was no money coming in, there was flowing out.
Wow, that's okay. The the brochure's picture shows you that you are sitting in an airplane with the headset on,
Yeah.
and you joined us in Flying Hub, which is something related to aviation. So, what is your relationship to aviation? I'm sure with all of this, you must love traveling. So, what else is your relationship with aviation?
It certainly is. Well, actually, it was once a dream to become a pilot, but technically, I think, and as far as yeah, all the mathematics, this kind of important issues are concerned, that was not my strength really. I was better in marketing, in languages, whatever. I like to attend customers, but never you can have dreams. I didn't achieve that. I always liked aviation is a topic which is also linked somehow to my character. I hate routine. I like to be in different paces. If every day is the same and I don't know, I get nervous. I don't like that. So when you're flying, you hop actually from one place to another. And referring back to your question, with the picture, actually, when I got 63, almost 2.5 years ago, I received a voucher from my sons and my daughter-in-law for a helicopter flight
Okay,
together with my wife. And we did that in summer. We went to Mont Blanc area. That is the highest mountain in Europe. And basically, we took off a place close to Geneva and then went up to a glacier and had an apero there, with cheese and meat and bread and drinks. And then we continued our flight, about 45 minutes flight. So we really enjoyed that. That was a great gift, something you will never forget.
absolutely. It's a great experience flying at
Certainly.
a helicopter over a special place. You're absolutely right.
Yes, that's true. That's
Uh,
true.
eh, So you said you don't like routine, and I know a lot of people like this, including myself.
Hmm.
Uh, People who don't like routine, they tend to, at least this is my own opinion, they tend to be very energetic. Uh, they like to do something. They cannot sit idle. Uh, are you this type of people?
Yes, that's true. When I get up, it doesn't need a second, and I'm already fully awake and basically energetic. So that is me. I never have a problem to get up. I love mornings. I think when you're fresh, you do a better job. And sometimes in the afternoon, with all the issues, you cannot concentrate yourself so well. And for me, it's also important that I do some sports. I do some hiking. I love that. I need as a compensation somehow. So I do about 250,000 steps a month. So that equals about 170 kilometers, which is not bad.
It's fantastic. I wish I'd do a quarter of that. Okay, Sam, from all of these diverse cultures that you've been to and places, I'm sure you have acquired languages. I mean, in Switzerland itself, there are, I think, three languages by default. So, what languages do you speak in this case?
Well, to be correct, we have four official languages in Switzerland. There
Sorry,
is
four.
German,
Sorry.
there's French, there is Italian,
Okay.
and there is a minority up in the mountains. The language is called the Rheto-Roman. It's something in between French and Italian. So
Wow.
these are about 100,000 people who still speak this language, but it's very well maintained by this, even in school. They have to learn this language, and which culture to protect that and introduce that to the new generations. I think that is very important. In this respect, I'm very old-fashioned. I think that everybody has to know their roots
Yeah.
and basically learn and live the culture. Like in Oman, I must say there are so many celebrations, which I had some good experience as well. So I love that. You're living
Okay.
in a wonderful country, Captain Khalid.
Thank you very much. Yours too. Yours too, Sam. But you still,
Thank
you
you.
still, you still didn't answer my question. How many languages you speak?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course.
Go ahead.
Well, I speak. My mother tongue is German, and the funny thing is, we speak Swiss German. So when you compare that,
Yeah.
German people, they don't understand what we are talking about, but we understand them. So
Uh-huh.
Swiss German is just a spoken language. We start proper German, high German, when we get to school, when children to school about 6 or 7 years. So till then, and then afterwards, I learned French. I had Italian in school, and later on I learned Spanish. Some English, of course, because for the training program in New York, I had to have the proficiency level. So I studied 5 months in London, Finchley area,
Oh,
and
fine.
yes, and then some Indonesian. So Indonesia is easy language because you have no grammar. If you do the plural, you just like, for example, child in Indonesian is anak. So when you talk about children, it's anak-anak. You just double the word.
Okay. Okay.
And there's
No,
some funny.
you say no grammar, so maybe they're busy. They don't have time for grammars. But yeah, I mean, Indonesia is a big country, a lot of islands, beautiful, and I'm sure you've been to Bali, have you?
Oh yes, I love Bali. Kuta Beach. There is a lot going, but also Ubud area, the mountain area. It's
Yes.
beautiful. Actually, my son and my daughter-in-law, they are presently in Bali.
Okay, throughout your um travels, and because you seem to you travel a lot in short time as well. Have you ever experienced any situation that is could be different or
Yes.
worth telling us
My
about?
my worst flight was from with Garuda from Jakarta to Medan. Medan
Just
is
to
the
make
capital of North Sumatra, and that was during monsoon season. So actually, the pilot or the captain tried to touch down almost 4 times. We always went up again, and finally landed. And that was not all. The next day, I was staying at one of these business hotels in the heart of Medan. I was on the executive floor, the 10th floor, and I experienced an earthquake, 7.4 on the scale. That's pretty heavy, so I was binding my tie and so I just grabbed my ticket, my purse, and surprisingly, no one of the guests were using elevators. All of them were running down the stairs,
that.
and
Yeah.
when you reach the garden, somehow the most impressive thing was the pool was half empty, but all the other in the streets or the houses, I didn't see a lot of damages. But it was a
Yes.
tough week,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
the fly. My
Yeah.
hands were sweaty. It was really, it was scary, really scary.
You know, guess what? This happened to me 10 days or 12 days ago uh,
Okay,
in Jakarta, in Indonesia.
okay,
And
yes,
I think I thought I am tired because I was watching YouTube at night just before,
right,
I just woke up from a nap after the flight. So I thought I'm still tired. And
okay,
I was turning like this. While I was turning, I saw everything else is moving. So I said, wow, am I really that tired? And then I saw the curtains continue. The curtains are moving. The lamp is, and I went and I said, this is not normal. Is it me or the room? So
yes,
when I tried to stand up, I could not. And I can relate now to what you say because later on we knew that this is about 6.3 to 6 point. Some scales they said 6.7 or some places 6 point.
right,
So from 6.1 to 6.7 on the scale, but you are saying 7.4. That's even worse. Now,
yes,
of course, but it lasts only for seconds. Now, I
yes,
was only scared from the movement of the hotel, and I'm sure that place is used to a lot of earthquakes because they have a lot of volcanoes as
yes,
well.
yes.
And
That's the different layers. And like, for example, in California, it's the same issue, There are all frictions or whatever. So,
so,
by the way, my twin brother lives in Japan. I have a twin brother. We are not identical twins, and of course, for them, earthquake is a daily business almost. They have a lot of earthquakes, and even in school they get prepared for that. So my younger son, he studied Japanese last year for 1 year. He was staying. He had his apartment in a high-rise buildings, I think on the 35th floor. And he said sometimes you feel it, when it gets shaky a bit. But yeah, that's right. I'm happy that they also discover the world. That they go out, they learn something. That's something. Knowledge is something nobody can take from you.
yeah. Okay, I have a last question, Sam. I know you have scheduled to meet, and
No
with
worries.
all our busy schedules nowadays and your personal spheres, I would say, um, how are you actually doing or striking a work-life balance?
Well, there is some. I give for that a lot of thoughts, and the older you get, the more mature you are. And basically, I think years back, I was running around for everybody, but nowadays, you choose with your people. I think it's important to have friends. It's important to have close friends. I don't need to have drama and bad discussions. However, I think for whenever I have a few friends, but I see them regularly, and I think sharing, experiences from different working areas. That's really interesting, and I also enjoy when I do some business trips. Just recently, I went to Oman as well because to meet all the people again after so many years uh, touch my heart because they know you and they trust you, and I think that is important. As I mentioned, I do some hiking. I love cycling also in summer. I love swimming. So it's also big. I think it's important also in a relationship that you have common interest, even with your wife. Somehow, I would prefer if she really likes, go up and down the mountains. That's not the case. She likes to walk, straight on, no different challenges. So somehow I have to go alone if it gets very challenging up in the mountains. So I do that alone. But I think that's important. If you are too close, we experienced that during Corona. You got on each other's nerves. Being, present in one room or in the same rooms, that is not good. Go out, explore, get some fresh air, and your mind works properly.
Absolutely right. Those days of Corona actually taught us a lot, made us value nature, value uh, fresh environment, value memories, because memories actually, I think they are more built around nature and places um, rather than the house or home.
That's good.
Um,
That's it.
I totally agree with you there. And since you like hiking, next time you come to Oman, you promise me, please, that we go hiking together, but come in the winter. I know you come to Oman.
I remember I did some camping on what is this Jebel Akhtar, Jebel Shams,
Yeah,
Jebel Shams area there.
you just
It was
months around.
9 degrees. It was so windy. The tent flew off almost,
Yeah,
but I really enjoyed it. I mean, when you have a good sleeping bag, and you are protected, it's no problem at all. I only remember what I really enjoyed in the morning was Omani bread and karak.
now all what you are saying could be like uh, codes for a lot of people. They don't know what you're talking about. Yes, special Omani bread, and this is called specialty, but it's actually Indian, and it's
Yes,
very common here in the Gulf, all the Gulf states, and it's a high sale. And since you are a marketing person, you should actually market it very well. I'm sure
yes.
you do.
Well, this is,
Sam, thank you.
Mhm.
Sorry, go.
No, it's okay. No issue. Go ahead.
Is there anything you want to add?
Well, I really appreciate this very interesting talk. You're a wonderful person, and I really look forward to meeting you in Oman. And I promise you, we'll go hiking,
Yes.
wherever destination. I think Oman has so much to offer. It's a pity a lot of Europeans they don't know what it's all about. It's not just Dubai high-rise buildings and see and party. It's the most beautiful landscape. I have to admit, it's for me. It's Oman. I mean, when you see at the skylines, the Sumatra, the port, and I mentioned to you earlier that I'm involved in a roadway project now, which I proposed. So when you from the mountain, you overlook the skylines from Muscat. It's fantastic. It's a dream. So I really look forward to coming back to Oman, and that's one of my favorite destinations, my second home. But thank you so much, Captain
Thank you.
Khalid. Has been a great pleasure, and I look forward to meeting you soon. And give my warm regards to your family.
Sure, I will. Thank you very much. And maybe I see you in Zurich next month. That depends on the schedule. Thank you, Sam.
That would
Thank
be
you
awesome.
very
You are
much.
most welcome.
Thank
My
you. Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you.
day.